Thank you, Sally. Let's give her a round of applause. What a great job she's doing tonight. Hello, Comedy Store. You know what I hate about being English and living in America? Nothing. Nothing, sir. But thanks for helping me out on my opening gag. I really appreciate that. We should do a double act. I'll get more money for that, sir. Let me know next time, won't you? Are the holidays actually over now? Are they over now in America? Good, because I am so broke. Does that make me American now? Yeah. Thank you. And I'll tell you what, the lyrics of your Christmas songs, I've got to say, they are so weird, aren't they? I was listening to it. We don't have these songs in England. There was one where it says, He knows while you're sleeping. He knows while you're awake. He knows if you've been good or bad. Is Santa coming to town, or has Rupert Murdoch just hacked my phone again? What is going on? I mean, I just drove down today from San Francisco, a lovely town that is, and I read last night that when you're driving those long distances, you're supposed to listen to classical music because it actually it's good for the brain and it improves mental agility. You should try that, sir. Honestly, I'll tell you a quick story because they did actually try it out on London taxi drivers back in the 90s. You know, before they had GPS, way back, dark days where you had to use your own brain to find out where you were going. Long time ago now. And they did this autopsy on the London taxi drivers. I think they were dead. I didn't check the details, but I think they were dead. And they found out that their brains were actually bigger. It's a true story. But you do have to bear in mind that London taxi drivers, their brains do have to hold in a lot of bigotry. They do suffer. Thank you for keeping up. They do suffer from enhanced xenophobia. You do know what bigotry is, people, don't you? You do know. Because I did that joke in Medford recently. Have anyone been to Medford, Oregon? It's famous for meth. It's famous for meth and actually for lumber as well. But try not to take the meth in the morning because you won't get wood all day after that. And it was a bunch of cops. And I did that and I said, do you know what bigotry is? And they said, no. I said, well, that's probably when your word is profiling cops. And there was a bunch, and there was some lumberjacks. And they said, no, it's when you get a bigger tree. And they need a classical orchestra, quite frankly, in Medford, Oregon. They really do. Have you heard of a guy called Albert Einstein, people here? Yeah. Thank you. He gets a round of applause for Albert Einstein. Yeah, they hadn't heard of him in Medford. Well, I'll tell you a quick story about Albert Einstein. When he was growing up, when he was about 10 years old, his school teacher said, you know what, Albert is a little bit dim. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. So maybe it's about time we taught him to do something that he could do for a living, like lug coal or pick fruit. And his mother was a bit miffed. She said, look, her name was Mrs. Einstein. That's right. And she said, yeah, you're learning a lot tonight. She said, no, we're a middle-class family. Those jobs are for illegal immigrants. And, and they did what any middle-class family would do in the most powerful nation of the world. They actually got Albert Einstein some violin lessons so that his brain would improve, sir. They gave him a little fiddle. But of course, when the coaches at Penn State gave those kiddies a little fiddle, the ramifications were completely different. So you've got to be careful what fiddle you give, sir. There you go. Actually, I've been talking about great educational establishments. I recently did a gig over the holidays, just before the holidays, at Simi Valley High School. And they were terrific. They actually sent me a letter here, which I thought I'd share with you. Here we go. Let me get the right one. It says, "Dear comedian." Yep, they started with a compliment, so that's good. It said, it's true, sir. Your act was totally inappropriate for high school kids. I was a little bit upset about that. I mean, would you agree I have a charming English accent? Yeah, thank you. I mean, look, come on, I could say cunt and it sounds like chocolate. It's in Shakespeare, sir. Hamlet. Hamlet. He says it. Anyway, they said, I did, look, okay, I'll admit to you, a word slipped out. The word is a synonym for a cat. And I thought, look, the brave thing to do, the right thing to do, would be to write back and apologise, right? But this letter was signed anonymous. What a pussy! Anyway, let's discuss censorship in America, shall we? I think that's a good subject. I was watching The Godfather. It was Francis Ford Coppola's metaphor for America. It was on Sunday afternoon. It was on ABC or NBC. Look, one of the 5,000 channels that you guys have. You've got to remember, when I grew up in England, we had 3 channels. Yeah, one of them just showed soccer all day. The other one just had a picture of the Queen. And the third one just showed reruns of documentaries about the Amazonian tsetse fly. I mean, British TV is about as scintillating as a sex life of a ping pong ball, basically. It's that good. But anyway, I was watching The Godfather, and it was a censored version, and I'm thinking, how are they going to do this? How are they going to do this? Because in England, we were a bit squeamish about violence. I mean, we've even banned guns, because we've got this notion that guns kill people. Whereas I'm told in America, no, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Mainly with guns though, don't they? Anyway, I'm watching The Godfather, and the first scene, I see the horse's head. I had to pause that bit and say, is that Camilla Parker Bowles? Are you a royalist? You shouldn't have thrown away our tea, should you? Teach you to ring the French to throw us out, sir, won't it? Anyway, and then the next thing that comes along, Michael Corleone, he goes into the restroom, he gets the gun, he comes out, he shoots a captain in the throat, there's blood everywhere, he then shoots 2 other people, there's brains everywhere, all completely uncensored. Michael Corleone, he's banished, he's sent to Italy, he falls in love with this beautiful Italian girl, and they get married. And then it's their wedding night, and she says, Michael, I love you, in Italian, not censored. And then she takes off her dress. She's completely naked, apart from her fuzzed out nipples. So that's where the censors come in, is it? Oh, alright. So tender loving moments, not good enough. Gratuitous violence, yes. I mean, come on, you had a tit as a president for years. What's wrong with tits? I mean, they actually have European actresses come over here now, and they say, look, I want to be on TV, and they go straight to the plastic surgeon, and I say, look, I need a breast augmentation. What do you want? Do you want a smaller cut or a bigger cut? And they, no, I just want my nipples pixelating so I can get on TV. How out of focus would you like it? Oh, just enough to get around the censors, please. Well, look, before I go, I was just going to tell you the other one last thing. I've been watching computer games recently. I'm trying to like because they're uncensored, and there's one called Call of Duty Battlefield 3. It grossed $1 billion last week, and the head of Activision said, "Oh, it's great. It is as good as training you for war." Haven't you just sent the troops home? Haven't they all just come home? Why don't we actually give Americans jobs? You know, give them video games for jobs that they can actually do. Like in Alabama, they've tightened up on immigration, and the farmers are saying, no one can pick the fruit. Let's have a video game about that. Harvest the crops. Level 1, pick the perfect peach. Level 2, find the illegal immigrant, exploit him, and get him to do the job that you won't do. All right, that's my time. Thanks. Good night.